Hi, I'm Paul. This video is about using Audacity, which is a free audio editing software program, to get your audio as close as possible to the proper loudness level, especially if you want to upload to YouTube and other internet platforms. So the first video that I did about Audacity was about just getting it downloaded, installed, and getting the basic settings configured. I also created a downloadable PDF, which is free to use for that video, and I have a downloadable PDF, which is also free for this video. And I'll put that in the description of the video, as well as the link for the previous video. So if you're really serious about being a content creator, the most important thing is to get your audio correct. And I'm going to explain why and show you some examples here in a second. So I use Audacity, and I also use DaVinci Resolve, which is, there's a free version of that, which is a video editor. And if you don't want to do the video editing with DaVinci Resolve, that'll be in the next video. You can get the loudness, you can use it to get the loudness level for your audio correct, and then you can just export the audio and bring that into whatever video editor you're using. So let me show you some screenshots I took today of 3 YouTube channels. So let me switch. Okay. So this is the video ID right here, and you can go and look that up. And it's for a YouTube channel called Pixel, and they do camera reviews and lens reviews, and it's really good. They do a really good job. And I go over this in the first video about Audacity, but this volume / normalized, this first 100% is if you go to any YouTube video, down in the lower left corner of the screen, there's the volume slider. As you adjust that volume slider back and forth, this will change from 0 to 100%. So it's just about the volume. This second number should also be 100%. This one isn't. And this content loudness should be either 0 or a negative number. So what happened with this, and these are professional, this is a professional YouTube channel and content creators. They uploaded the video, the loudness was too loud, and YouTube is saying it was 1 decibel too loud. So what YouTube did to protect the ears and the hearing of its listeners is they push that audio volume down, and it's at 89%. And doing that, it may be kind of difficult to hear, but it can cause your audio, the quality to be degraded. This next YouTube channel, it's at 100%, the normalized value, but it's at minus 14.6 decibels. Now, ideally, you'd want to be at 0 decibels, but what happens is that this is an average that's taken from the beginning of the video to the very end. So getting it at 0 is probably really difficult. Anything from minus 3 dB to 0, anything in that range is excellent. So what they did was they published it, and its audio is really low, which means if you played this video, you'd have to turn the volume up pretty significantly in order to hear it. If you would go back after adjusting your volume and go back to listening to this YouTube channel, the Petapixel, this would be really loud because you had to turn the volume up here. This is the link or the code that you can put in YouTube search and you can find this. And this is Adobe's. This is from Adobe's YouTube channel. And they uploaded it at -14. Way, way, way too low for my liking and in my opinion. This is from Lex Friedman's channel. And I talked about this in the previous video. His is at -2.0 decibels, which is basically perfect. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that level. And the thing about it is whoever's editing his videos, if you go to any video, and all you have to do is bring up any YouTube video, you can stop it if you want, right mouse click in somewhere inside the video where you see it playing and select Stats for Nerds. It's a little window will open up, and that's in the previous video also. And this screen will open up and you can see the content loudness. All of his videos that I just went through and just took a bunch of looked at a bunch of them to see as a sample are either -2 or -1.9 dB. So it's consistent all the time, which is really difficult to do. So whoever's editing his videos is doing a good job. So next, I'm going to bring a video clip into Audacity and show you how simple it is to get it really, really close to the proper loudness level. Okay, so I've got Audacity open. This is a welcome screen. If you want to get rid of it, just click this little box right here and click OK, and it won't come up anymore. I like it because it has a quick help link, the link for the manual, a link for tutorials, and a link for the forum. So I just leave it. So I am going to need to go and grab. This is a video clip. This is from a previous video I did about a week ago or so about the Fuji X-T30 camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag and drop it into Audacity, or you can come up to File, Open, and then go to the location of wherever the video is and select it. So dragging and dropping will work, and so we'll doing it that way. So you can also go up and select import audio and do the same thing. So this is from the actual video, and what it did, it extracted the audio. If you drag a track in and it's too large where it's off the screen, just come up to this little icon or Control F, and it says fit the project to width. And if you have multiple clips, I mean multiple tracks, and some of them go far beyond the screen, you'll see everything. You'll see all the tracks some will be compressed more than others, but we're just working with one track now, and it's a mono track because I recorded it in mono. So I'm actually going through, I'm looking at the PDF as I'm doing this. So if you'll notice right here, you'll see a red a red vertical line. And I'm spreading this out by holding Control and Alt down. That's clipping. That means it's too loud and it can cause some distortion. So we're going to get rid of that. So I'm going to fit this back on the line again. And you can make it larger or smaller by dragging up and down. So what we're going to try, I'm going to do, you see how you have all these peaks and valleys? We're going to try to get this, or we are going to get this as level as possible all the way across. So this part of the wave from here that's really small, that's just because that's the way I speak. And my voice is lower there. So what we're going to do is these peaks is when I'm speaking louder, we're going to bring these down and try to get this as level as possible. So what we want to do is select the track, and it's not selected. So you can, a few ways to do it. You can come over here and click on the select button, and you can see it goes from a light gray to a brighter blue. You can just come in anywhere in this area and click once. You can also hold a Control key and click, or you can just come inside here anywhere inside the track itself and double click. If you have multiple tracks and you want to select them all at one time, you'll hold Control plus A, which would be Command A, letter A on a Mac. So we want to select the clip, and this is, I'm going to show you how easy this is. So, and one other thing, a couple other things. You don't want to shorten the clip up, or you don't want to take pieces out of it, because you want this thing completely intact from start to finish, because you want it to be able to sync up with the video, because this audio track will replace the audio in the video that you recorded. So if you need to get rid of some pops or clicks somewhere, so again, I'm going to hold Control and Alt, and I'm going to spread this out, and then I can use the Shift key and get to the beginning. Actually, there's a better way of doing this. You can just place the cursor somewhere and like this little click right here, it's starting to play, but
I am Paul.
Let me turn this down. So just click inside there and hold the Control and Alt key or Command and Option. So let's say I want to get rid of this, but I don't want to cut it out. So I can just drag across it, come up to Generate, select Silence, and just select the Generate button, and it's gone, and it hasn't shortened the clip at all. So we're going to select everything, come up to Effect, Volume and Compression, Compressor, and I'm going to reset this to the factory settings. So come up here to Presets and Settings, Factory Presets, Defaults, and that's the way it is when you first install Audacity. So what you're going to want to do is come down here to the lower left corner in this Makeup Gain for 0 dB after compressing, uncheck that box. Because if you don't, once it goes through and does the compressing, it might take off some of the waveform from the front or the back, and then you may have a little bit of an issue trying to get it to sync up correct with the video, because the track is actually shorter. So you just uncheck that. The only other thing you need to change is this ratio. And this is because I've been doing this many times. I know that probably changing it from 2 to 1 to 6:1 is going to be, it's going to be what I need to get this waveform as flat as possible. You may not need to go as high as 6:1 depending on what this waveform looks like. If you don't have these high peaks and low valleys, you may not have to go to 6:1, but I know with this one I'm going to. So 4:1 may work, even 2:1. So once you've done that, and all the other settings, just click apply. And you can see that it's more level, and that clipping that was in here is gone. So now what we want to do, we want to boost this a little bit. So come back up to Effect, Volume and Compression, Loudness Normalization, and here's the default setting. So the default is minus 23 LUFS. That's the perceived loudness by the human ear, and minus 23, and LUFS stands for Loudness Units Full Scale, is for broadcast television. It's not for internet platforms. Minus 14 is for internet platforms. So just come in here and change it to minus 14.0. And just make sure perceived loudness, you either have that or RMS. But again, this is the default settings. Check boxes leaves the same. Then just click apply. And watch how big it got. And now look at all the clipping that's in there. And that's going to be distortion. We don't want that. So there's only one thing left to do. Come back up to Effect, Volume and Compression, Limiter. So I'm going to go to Presets, Factory Presets, and select Default. So I'm leaving everything the same except this limit to 0 dB, or limit to dB. I'm changing to minus 1.0. And then click Apply. Now we've got a little bit of a gap. So we don't have any clipping. We've boosted the loudness level. And now all we have to do is save this project and then export it as a WAV file. Okay, so one thing that I covered in the previous video, to see the vertical red lines that show you the clipping, you have to come to View first and make sure Show Clipping in Waveform is selected. If you don't have this selected, you're not going to see the clipping. But if it's off the screen, you're going to know that it's clipped. But that's covered in the first video. So now what we want to do is save this as a project file. Let's come up to File, Save Project As, and this little window comes up and it's just letting you know that this is an Audacity project file. It's not an audio file. So we can save this and then we can come back later and make changes if we wanted to. So this window is open up for your File Explorer. Just find a location on your computer where do this before you start recording the videos. Create a folder somewhere in your location for your project. So what I'm going to do, this is the proper location. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to call this, and this is what I do with all the videos. I'm going to call it Audacity Project File. So I know that it's the project file, and then you can name it whatever else you want. And so I know that this is the primary, especially if it had multiple tracks. I'll just call this call it main. Okay, and then we're going to save it. Now we want to export this as a WAV file that can be brought into your video editor. So come up to File, Export Audio, and down here in the lower left corner, if you want to add copyright information, select Edit Metadata, and you can fill this out. And let's say I just want to put 2023 here, and I'll just comments. I'll put copyright 2023, and then I can put my name here. I'd put my full name, and then the track is just Audacity video editing basics. And now I can save this. And this location that pops up here, this is already set up by Audacity, the location. And I already have one that's APSC video tags. I could name it tags 2 if I want. Name it whatever you want and click save. The next time you open Audacity, instead of doing this, you can just, let me close this out. Come back here, export audio, go into the edit metadata, select load. This is the one I just saved, open it, and there it is. And then if you want to fill out anything else, you can go ahead and do it. Then just click OK. Now this you want to rename because it says project file, and this is going to be exported as a WAV file. As you see, it's selected here. So I'm just going to call it WAV file, and then I'll take this off the end where it says main. And then just select export. And now that audio has been exported over here. So these are from the previous video. So let me just close out of Audacity. I already saved it, so I'm not going to save it again. If you have multiple tracks, and if you delete any of the tracks, or you may not want to say yes to saving it, that's a whole nother video. So here is, okay, so this is the audio. So I'm going to take these, and so it's not so confusing, I'll just get these out of the way. So this is the project file that we created, and this is the WAV file. This is the actual audio that we can now bring in to DaVinci Resolve, or if your video editor allows you to adjust the loudness level, then you can do that. So again, links for the PDF file will be in here. Links for the for Audacity and DaVinci Resolve, if you want to download them, will be in the description of this video, and a link to the previous Audacity video for just getting it set up will be included. The next video, I'm going to bring this audio file into DaVinci Resolve, and I'll show you how simple it is to get this at the proper loudness level. So, thanks for watching.